What if discipline was never supposed to feel like a fight? What if the people who seem the most consistent aren't stronger than you, more motivated than you, or more productive than you? They just live by a few simple habits that make discipline feel natural. Japan is known for consistency, precision, restraint, and routines that quietly shape everyday life. And hidden inside that culture are habits that can completely change the way you approach self-discipline. Not by forcing yourself harder, but by making the right actions easier to repeat. And the last habit on this list might be the most powerful of all, because it changes discipline from something painful into something almost automatic. So if you've been struggling to stay consistent, watch until the end, because these 7 Japanese habits might be the reset you need. Discipline usually gets framed as intensity. Wake up at 5, push harder, be tougher, never slip. But real discipline isn't about living in permanent resistance. It's about building a life where the right choice becomes the obvious choice. That's what makes these Japanese habits so powerful. They don't rely on hype. They rely on design, rhythm, awareness, and small, repeated action. So let's start with habit number 7. One of the most famous Japanese ideas is Kaizen, which means continuous improvement. But most people misunderstand it. They hear continuous improvement and imagine a nonstop hustle mindset. That's not the point. Kaizen is about making change so small that resistance barely notices it. Instead of saying, I'm going to work out for an hour every day, Kaizen says, do 1 push-up. Instead of, I'll read 30 pages nightly, it says, read 1 page. Instead of, I'm changing my entire life this month, it says,
just one thing
what's
for
one
tomorrow?
improvement I can repeat
Read
tomorrow?
5 pages of a book.
This matters because the biggest enemy of discipline isn't laziness. It's friction. The brain resists dramatic change, but it tolerates tiny change. And tiny actions have a hidden power. They build identity. 1 push-up sounds meaningless, but done every day, it turns you into someone who never skips movement. 1 page a day turns you into a reader. 5 focused minutes turn you into someone who can begin. That's the real secret. Discipline doesn't begin when you do a lot. It begins when you do something consistently enough to trust yourself. So if you want to use Kaizen in real life, stop asking, what's the perfect routine? Ask, what's the smallest version of this habit I can do, even on my worst day? That's where effortless discipline starts. In Japan, Osoji refers to cleaning, often deeply and intentionally. But this habit is bigger than tidiness. It reflects a principle that your environment shapes your behavior. And that's something most people ignore when they talk about discipline. They blame themselves for being distracted, while trying to focus in a chaotic room with their phone on the desk, snacks in sight, tabs everywhere, notifications on, and no clear starting point. That's not a discipline problem. That's an environment problem. A clean, ordered space reduces decision fatigue. It sends a subtle signal to your brain. This is a place for clarity. That's why after cleaning your desk, making your bed, or putting things back in place, you often feel more in control. Not because cleaning is magical, but because order reduces resistance. If you want more discipline, don't just motivate yourself. Prepare your environment. Lay out your workout clothes the night before. Put your book on your pillow. Keep junk food out of reach. Make your workspace visually clean. Remove the first 3 distractions before you begin. The easier the good action becomes, and the harder the bad action becomes, the less willpower you need. Discipline feels effortless when your environment stops fighting you. There's a Japanese phrase often associated with Okinawan longevity, Hara Hachi Bu. It means, eat until you're 80% full. Now on the surface, this sounds like a rule about food. But it's actually a deep lesson in restraint.
Hara Hachi Bu.
Most people don't struggle because they lack knowledge. They struggle because they wait too long to stop. They work until they burn out. Scroll until midnight. Spend until regret. Eat until discomfort. Push until collapse. Hara Hachi Bu teaches a different rhythm. Leave a little space. Stop before excess. That principle applies far beyond eating. When you're tired, stop before total exhaustion. When you're spending, pause before impulse becomes purchase. When you're consuming content, end before your attention is destroyed. When you're planning your day, don't fill every minute. The reason this helps discipline is simple. Excess creates recovery debt, and recovery debt kills consistency. When you always go too far, the next day becomes harder. But when you stop with intention, you preserve energy for repetition. And repetition matters more than intensity. A disciplined life is not built on going to 100 every day. It's built on stopping wisely enough that you can come back tomorrow. That's what Hara Hachi Bu teaches. Self-control is easier when you don't wait until the last second to use it. Another beautiful Japanese concept is Shoshin, often translated as beginner's mind. It means approaching things with openness, curiosity, and lack of ego. And this matters a lot more for discipline than people realize. Because one of the fastest ways to lose discipline is to make every setback mean something dramatic. You miss one workout and think, I'm inconsistent. You skip one morning routine and think, I've failed again. You lose focus for a week and think, maybe I'm just not disciplined. That mindset destroys momentum. Shoshin says, come back like a beginner. No shame, no ego, no need to prove anything. Just return to the practice. That's powerful, because disciplined people are not perfect people. They are people who restart quickly. A beginner's mind lets you say, today I begin again. Not because the past doesn't matter, but because dwelling on it doesn't help. You don't need a dramatic comeback. You need a clean restart. If you've been off track lately, this habit alone can change everything. Drop the identity crisis, drop the guilt performance, drop the all or nothing thinking. Return to the habit simply, calmly, almost casually. That's a more mature form of discipline than forcing perfection. The Japanese idea of Mottainai expresses a sense of regret over waste. Not just waste of objects, but waste of potential, waste of time, waste of resources, waste of what could still be used meaningfully. And once you start applying this to your life, your decisions change. You begin to see wasted mornings differently, wasted attention differently, wasted energy differently. Not from guilt, from respect. If you treat your time as disposable, discipline feels optional. If you treat your energy as infinite, you burn it carelessly. If you treat your talent as guaranteed, you delay using it. But Mottainai creates reverence. You start thinking, this hour matters, this body matters, this focus matters, this chance matters. And when you truly feel that, discipline stops being punishment. It becomes protection. You protect your sleep because your mind matters. You protect your attention because your future matters. You protect your routines because your goals matter. This is such a powerful shift. A lot of people try to become disciplined by attacking themselves. But sustainable discipline comes faster when you respect your life enough not to waste it. That's Mottainai. Not fear, not pressure. Just deep respect for what should not be thrown away. One of the most underrated Japanese ideas is ma. Ma refers to space, pause, or the meaningful gap between things. In music, it's the silence between notes. In design, it's the empty space that creates balance. In life, it's the pause that allows intention. And this may be one of the biggest missing pieces in modern discipline. Most people think discipline means packing life tighter. More tasks, more goals, more content, more speed, more output. But when every moment is crowded, your mind loses control. Ma teaches that space is not emptiness. Space is function. If you build pauses into your life, your choices improve. A pause before opening social media.
I'll take
A pause
it.
before reacting emotionally.
I can't do
A
this.
pause between work sessions. A pause before saying yes.
The world
A pause before
offers
buying
much.
something. a pause before quitting.
But peace begins within.
Those tiny spaces interrupt impulse. And impulse is often what breaks discipline. People don't usually ruin their consistency through one big decision. They ruin it through unexamined moments. So create ma. Before breakfast, sit in silence for 1 minute. Before reaching for your phone, breathe once. After work, take a short reset walk before the evening begins. Between tasks, clear your desk and reset your focus. These pauses create awareness. And awareness makes self-control easier. Because when there is no pause, habit runs you. When there is space, you can choose. Now here's the most powerful habit of all. And it's not one Japanese word. It's a way of living that shows up again and again in Japanese culture. Turn important actions into rituals, not random intentions, not mood-based decisions, not when I feel motivated. Rituals. A ritual is a behavior tied to a cue, a place, a sequence, and a meaning. It happens the same way often enough that it stops draining energy. That's why this matters so much. Motivation is unstable. Ritual is stable. If every good behavior requires a fresh decision, discipline will always feel heavy. But if a behavior has a time, a place, and a pattern, it becomes easier every time. Think about it. Tea ceremonies. Removing shoes before entering. Greeting routines. Seasonal practices. Cleaning rituals. Daily preparation rituals. There's a deep cultural respect for repeated form. And repeated form reduces mental chaos. So instead of saying, I want to journal more, create a ritual. After I make tea, I sit by the window and write for 5 minutes. Instead of, I need to exercise more, create a ritual. As soon as I wake up, I stretch on the same mat for 10 minutes before touching my phone. Instead of, I should focus better, create a ritual. At 9 a.m., I clear my desk, put on the same playlist, set a 30-minute timer, and begin with the hardest task. That sequence matters, because the brain loves familiarity. The more consistent the setup, the less energy the action costs. And this is why some people look incredibly disciplined. They're not negotiating with themselves all day. Their habits are already decided. That's what makes discipline feel effortless. Not more force, more ritual. When the cue is fixed, when the environment is prepared, when the action is small, when the identity is clear, discipline stops feeling like a battle and starts feeling like a rhythm. And rhythm is easier to keep than pressure. So if you want discipline to feel easier, don't ask, how can I force myself more? Ask, how can I make the habit smaller? How can I clean the environment? How can I stop before excess? How can I restart without shame? How can I respect my time more? How can I create more space before impulse? And how can I turn the right action into a ritual? That's the deeper lesson behind these Japanese habits. Discipline isn't always about becoming harder. Sometimes it's about becoming more intentional, more structured, more aware, more respectful of your energy, more consistent in small ways. Start with just one of these habits, not all 7. Pick the one that feels easiest to apply today. Because the goal is not to become a different person overnight. The goal is to live in a way where discipline no longer feels forced. If you enjoyed this video, comment which habit hit you the hardest. And if you want more content on self-mastery, focus, and habits that actually work in real life, subscribe and stay with me. Because sometimes the smallest shift in how you live changes everything.